All right. Good day, everyone. Today we'll be talking about CSS. I'll be talking about everything we need to know, everything we need to understand about CSS. The starting from the introduction to CSS, the CSS rule, the selector, the method of styling, and the uh the type of selector we have. So so what do we understand about CSS? CSS is initially called cascading. So what I'll do is I'll create an index.html file for this class. So I have home.html, contact.html, but let me create another file. So I'll call this index.html like that. Index.html. So the first thing I'll create my HTML boiler. So that's that. Using shift one for creating HTML boiler, then you press enter. So what I'll do is I will kind of do paragraph, because if you look at the elements we select here, we are selecting a paragraph element. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of create a hello guys, welcome to uh CSS. So just say color, that's the property you want to add, and this kind of colon and say red like that. So this is what this is a property we can add, as simple as that. So color property, the property name is color, and the value is what? The value is red. So I'll just come here and refresh. But when I'm refreshing, the paragraph element is not yet affected by this type. So whenever you are using external method, which is the first method, you need to kind of link your HTML file with your CSS file, because you cannot just take only HTML file, because what is happening behind the scenes is that the browser is really reading HTML file. So browser only reads HTML content, not CSS or JavaScript. So you create that file. Yes, browser can understand CSS, JavaScript, all those language, but you need to connect them with HTML, because only browser can only render HTML file. Because that's what the browser needs, the content. Yeah, so what you need to do is now just come here and say link, that's in between this head after the word meta tags. So this meta tags, just click on this link. So that will give you some attributes inside that link. So this is what self close tag, because we don't have what closing tag. So we have relative attribute, style sheet, then href, hyperreference. Then you want to reference that particular file. So I'll say dot forward slash like that css style.css. As simple as that. That means I already connect this HTML with what the CSS file. So let's read it. So what I'll just do is come here, then automatically it has refreshed because I'm using live server. Then you can see the color property red is affected. Now you can see it already affected that element. So this kind of styling is called what? External method. Why? Because we are creating our CSS file in a separate file, because it's separate, it's different from HTML. So that we call external method. So the next method here is what? Is the internal method. So this internal style method is also known as what? Embedded. So we normally call it, because sometimes we hear some people call it embedded or internal. So they are still saying the same thing. They are saying the same thing. So what I'll just do here is, what do we call internal? If something is internal, that means that particular rule, the CSS property, everything is inside the HTML file. That's internal or embedded. Internal or embedded. So you want to do that, just come here and in between, inside your body, you can put inside your body or inside the head tag. But it's also good, very, very good to put inside the head tag, because since this will read, the browser will read the head first before the word, before the body. Then we also know that, oh, this body only contains our HTML, our content. That means the content you want to render. You can never put your content inside the head. But let's just put this style here inside the internal method, internal style inside the head. So what I will do is I'll remove this, or I can comment it out. Control // control for forward slash. So the moment I comment this out, so initially when you automatically comment anything out using control forward slash, it's going to off this particular code. So you're not going to the browser is not going to render it. Just keep it like fly the particular line of code because you already commented out. If you can see the color here is what is kind of green. That means that thing is off automatically. So when I come to my browser here, it's not going to the style is not going to affect it again because I've commented the link of that style of this CSS style here. I've commented out, so it's not going to do it again. So let's use our our internal method. So internal method. Don't forget this is what. So we also use comments to make our style element, but inside what inside the head. So what I will do here is I'll just type enter and say I can as well, since we are using the CSS rule here, because this complete CSS rule a selector and what the declaration block. Inside the declaration block, I have what a declaration. But when you have one property like this, we call this was a declaration. When you have multiple properties like color, font style like that, we call it multiple or declarations. You have a lot of declaration. But all of this like this one property is called declaration. So what I'll do is I'll come back here. I'll just copy all this or copy all this like that. Since we are not using external yet, so I'll just put it inside my what internal like that. So the moment I just come to this file, just click away this file, automatically the ID will resize that automatically. You need to make it justify its normal position, the way it's meant to be. So when you look at this, you can see the paragraph and what the declaration block. Then we have what our property inside. So alright, now if you look at this, you can see it's already affected back. Welcome to our class, it's already affected. So don't forget, we can also add multiple properties. So I can just come here and say text align, research kind of experience so far. Developers later conclude that okay, the best the best method of styling among these three guys is what external, based on research, because they work through a lot of things to make this thing possible. So now if you look at this, because the more you do something, the more you understand better, and the more you figure out what is good, what is bad. Now if you look at the way we select this element here, paragraph element. So the reason why developer take this as the best one as external is that the best one is that external is very easier to use. Number one. Number two is that whenever your browser is reading your style, is reading your file, HTML file. Don't forget, browser only reads what HTML file. Whenever it's reading HTML file, it starts from what? From the bottom downward. That's normal way of the browser or our computer interprets language. So start from top to bottom, top to bottom. So whenever it gets to this point here, you know our CSS file is already connected here. So that means you're going to render that first and store it one place in the browser. I get me. So the moment you just take that first, that's very easy. That means you just need to take all the content you have easily, then take that style and be attaching that property, the selector like that. So instead of you using the internal style, whereby you need to read all this CSS rule, property, everything inside the same file. So that will make our website render very smooth. So that will make our website very smooth and not well uh because we also have what we call web accessibility. You're going to have a low web accessibility. That means your content will not be rendered very well. Because some elements will be affected by your style, some will not be affected. That's very bad. So the best way to use, the best method to use was the external method. So what I will do here is I will just remove all this. So since we are done with that, then I'll remove all the internal inline style method. Then I will comment this one out also. So I need to have what our property back. That's external. So now if you look at the whole of this, so let me just kind of make a kind of little like so. So Lorem, I want to select now if I want to select only this paragraph elements here, which is what? Let's say I want to select only this now, only this one. What I will do, I can add what? A class attribute, a class, which is also known as class selector. So I'll add a class attribute in our HTML. then use this in our CSS, which is class selector. I can just call this I can just call it para intro paragraph intro paragraph like that. Intro paragraph again. I'm not selecting everything. I'll just apply a dot notation. So whenever you are using a CSS selector, you have to use dots before the value. And so I'll just paste this, which is what intro paragraph 1. So I just come here and declare my property. I'll say color. This color should be gray, and the font size should be 30 pixels. This is only just a selector property declaration block like that. But I want to just copy all this. If I paste this here, that means I'm targeting the whole section, which is what the parent element of the div itself. Automatically, what I have inside here, do you know what I have here needs to be affected by this property. The property here will need to affect that all what I have there. So that means all the text inside this section element will be what? Centered. Will be centered. So I come here, you can see all the text inside is centered like that. So all the text is what is centered automatically. So now if you look at this is kind of giving us a way of selecting elements easier without disturbing ourselves. So if you look at this was ID selector. But this kind of ID selector is also known as unique selector. It's known as unique, meaning it's kind of used differently. You don't use like class, like you can just use anyhow. So it's a unique selector in terms of you cannot repeat the same ID on the web page like this. You have ID. I'm duplicating this ID intro section. It's very bad. So you rather use one ID. You can use a lot of ID, but your value must not be the same. You must not have two same values in your web page, your HTML file. It's very bad for ID selector, because if you are talking about SEO, that will automatically reduce your SEO. That's search engine optimization. So your website will not be ranked high. And so we normally take note of those things, because website development is kind of technical and logical. So you don't understand some things, you just be parabolating, you won't get it right. So all these things are the things you need to take note of. So now this was intro section. The moment I just do this, I'm selecting the intro section like that, but it's very bad because I'm using with two ID. Normally you're going to have the same thing affected, but don't forget your website will not be rendered okay. That's it. That's we're talking about search engine optimization. So you rather would use different values. Okay, intersection 1 like that, and use what intersection 2. So that means that's different. That means I'm only selecting what this one and what different from this one. So look at this. So if you look at this, my intersection here is affected. Intersection 1, intersection 2. But what happens is that they are not centered. That means I've changed on to intersection 1. If I want to talk to intersection 1 only, I'll just come here and say intersection 1. So only the first section here will be centered, not the second one. So you need to take note of using ID. So that's that about that. So the last thing I'll be talking here is what we call specificity. So specificity is specificity. So this is specificity. So specificity just kind of ranking all these element selector, all these class selector, all these CSS selector, kind of giving them hierarchy. So I'll talk about these three like as well. So now basically what you need to understand is that okay, ID has power over this, over class and element. Class has power over element. So how do I do that? I'll just come here. Let me test something out. So you know I have two paragraphs here, intro paragraph 1, intro paragraph 2. So I'll remove this. For now. Let me remove this. Let me remove the first paragraph here. That means I only have this, right? I only have this color. Okay. Now, if you look at this, let's say I want to vary this property here. I can copy this and paste it right here and say intro paragraph one again should be what? Color red. So this one is called cascading, because you are just rewriting this property, you are selecting this element twice. So that means the one last will mean what? You need to override the one first, because the CSS, the browser is reading this from what? From top to bottom. So you need to take this first and you need to override the rest. So when I come here, the color will not be what? The color will not be gray, it will be what? It will be red, because you have called this twice. Now you are declaring this property not gray again, it's now what? It's red. But what I want to do is that the specificity has value. So for element selector we have what? 10. Then for last selector we have what? 100. And for ID, sorry, for this one we have 10. And for this one we have what? 100, like that. But this thing, there has kind of the way it is used. So now let's say I want to override this paragraph. I want to override. This one is having value of 10. That's what? That's the class selector. It's having 10 value. 10 value. But I'll remove this in red. I don't want to have a what? Color of what? Gray. I'm selecting only this paragraph. That means this paragraph, all the paragraph here, like comment this out. All this paragraph here we have what? We have a pattern of red automatically. So now if I should comment it out, what are we going to have? Intro paragraph 1, which is the first one, we now have what? We now have gray, not red again. So what's happening here is that this one is overriding this. This is element selector. Why this one is what? Class selector. So that's why this class selector is what? 10. But element selector is what? Is 1. Is 1. That's why this one is overriding this one. This one is overriding this one. But if I should come here, let me do another one here. If I should come here and paste this one right here, you need to understand this and paste this one right here. So I'm selecting intro paragraph 1. Intro paragraph 1, and which is okay. What I'll do is to make it a little bit easier. Let me duplicate this. Okay, let me just kind of give this one a class of container. This one is class selector. That means it's having a value of what? What's the value? Is 10 now. So if I want to select container and using different ways now, I want to select the paragraph but using different ways. I don't want to select intro paragraph 1. I want to select from the intro section 1 to the paragraph, which is called descendant selector. But I'm not talking about that here. So what I want to do here now is I want to try to let you understand how to use